Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Schoology by Instructional Tech. We're going to be talking about creating assessments, and there's three different ways you can create assessments in Schoology. One from scratch, another from the Google Drive resources, and the last one through an external source like Mastery Connect. Let's begin. In order to add an assessment to your course, you need to click the Add Materials button. Then find the Add Assessment. You're going to give your assessment a title, a due date. Submissions need to be enabled, and you can choose to have a password, categories and your major minors. Your period will be your class, and make sure that your sync to SIS is checked. And depending on your grading policy, you select numeric or uniform grading scale. Most of you will select uniform grading scale. Now, don't forget the options at the bottom if you want to publish. Publishing makes it viewable, unpublishing makes it not. And you can also enable the grade statistics. This is interesting if you want to track students' progress or track which problems they're getting wrong. Okay, when you're ready, press create and create an icon that looks like a puzzle piece. If you go back to your course, you'll see that it's right there at the bottom. I'm going to click one that I've already created so I can show you a little bit more of what it could look like. Now I'm going to do a science, sixth grade science. Now this is creating one from scratch using basically your own test builder, using multiple choice, true, false, matching order, and all these different items here on the left. Let me show you how to do a multiple choice question. Clicking multiple choice will give you the question setup, and a rich text editor will pop up, giving you the ability to add pictures, videos, math problems, literally, anything that you have in your resources or Google Drive. This is an excellent way to create tests. Then in the options, these are the choices that the students will have to choose. You can also use the text editor in these. Okay, and then down below, you'll see the correct answer setup. This is how you make the answer choice correct. So if it's option A, just make sure you select it. You can assign a percent. You can shuffle the different options, or you can have it be multiple responses. So if there's a question that requires two correct answers, make sure you leave that checked. Okay, now if you look, there's some more options you can look at. Learning objectives is important if you're tracking your students' progress using standards-based objectives. These are great for SLOs or any other data tracking. Okay. After you've created your multiple choice or item-based test, all of your questions will appear here, and then you can assign the point values if you'd like to change them. Your standards will appear here if you've chosen to allow standards-based. And yeah, you can pretty much reorder the questions as you want, or you can shuffle them. But that is how to create an assessment from scratch. Don't forget, in the setup, you can change a lot of different factors like the student settings, how many times they're able to take the quiz, if they're able to view the results after with correct answers. Remember, that's at the bottom under setup. Going back and changing any questions using this tab here, this is how you can change your questions after. The grading tab will be after students submit your test. This will show which students have completed and their scores. And then reporting, if you've enabled it, creates analytics for your students after they've taken your quiz, gives them grade statistics, questions wrong, etc. Great for data. After you've created your quiz, you can copy it to your other courses so you don't have to create another one. You can unpublish it to make it unviewable, or you can edit it. You can even print the assessment on paper in case you'd like to accommodate. Okay, let me show you how to add a Google Drive resource so that you're able to use it for an assessment or an assignment. Over here in the Resources tab at the top, make sure that you've enabled the Google Drive integration by clicking the apps on the left. And if you see this up here, if there's nothing here, or if there's an approve, make sure you've clicked approve before you can see your entire Google Drive. Then you may add individual resources by importing here, or you can add resources to a specific folder. And finally, to add a Mastery Connect or an external resource to your Schoology account, I'm going to use Mastery Connect as an example. So Mastery Connect has test IDs, and they have copy and paste URLs. You're going to need the URL from the Mastery Connect tracker. And once you have it here, if you go back to your Schoology course and then to your assessment, you can see that it's not going to be the same way. You're going to add material, add file, link, or external tool. Click external tool, and then you'll notice the drop-down menu for tool provider. Click the one you want, give it a name, and then here's where your URL will go from the Mastery Connect tracker. Okay, so you make sure you have your URL in here before you submit. Of course, make sure your enable grading is on and all of your categories are done correctly, and your sync to SIS is checked, and your Mastery Connect tracker will be synced to your Schoology. Now, in order to preview what the student will see, if you go to your assessment in the Schoology folder you want, just go up to the top where the little I is and click preview. It will show you what a student should see. So if you start the test, this is how it would look to the student, and you can kind of get a feel for how your test looks before you administer it. One last thing, when creating your test, don't forget that we have item banks available with filled out questions and tests that have already been created by teachers. Go through these and see if there's any that you can use before you create your own. And this has been the assessments portion of Schoology, brought to you by EdTech and the instructional technology team. This is Tavish signing off.